My dear sisters and brothers in Christ, today's Gospel reading contains one of the most important principles of Christianity. Love your enemies and pray for those who persecute you. Here, Jesus is introducing a new model and a way of life for his followers. Jesus says, when someone strikes you on your right cheek, turn the other one as well. The listeners of Jesus were astounded, as no one ever had said something like this. The Gospel passage offered no resistance to one who is evil, is about defeating violence and hatred with love. One who is sure of God's love is not afraid to fight evil with good. What the world considers a sign of weakness becomes our strongest weapon. But still, we will be asking, how can I love someone who hurts me always? The answer to the question is the message and life of Jesus. In ancient times, excessive punishment was given to prevent crimes. Even today, many nations consider strict punishment as the only means to eliminate crime. Jesus' solution to the world's problems is excessive love and radical generosity. That is why St. Paul told the Roman Church, "Do not be conquered by evil, but conquer evil with good." Romans chapter 12, verse 21. It is effortless to say that we love everyone and hate no one. But we should put into practice the principle of love in our family, with our neighbors and co-workers, and in our day-to-day life. This is more challenging and difficult than we think. The famous English writer G.K. Chesterton says, "We are commanded to love our neighbors and our enemies. They are generally the same people." It is time for us to start working on improving our relationships with our relatives and friends whom we sometimes consider enemies. The more we understand Jesus, the easier it becomes, even when it might not always work in our favor. But at least we can live peacefully, and we have made an effort to fulfill Jesus' command for us. There are many famous people who were inspired by this teaching of Christ. Mahatma Gandhi used the weapon of non-violence against the mighty British Empire to gain freedom for India. He once remarked, "The weak can never forgive. Forgiveness is an attribute of the strong." Martin Luther King fought against racial discrimination in the United States using the means of non-violence. He says, "Love is the only force capable of transforming an enemy into a friend." There are a lot of examples in our times when people heroically practiced this principle of Jesus. We all know the assassination attempt on St. John Paul II on 13th May 1981. A Turkish man named Muhammad Ali Aga shot the Pope several times at St. Peter's Square when he came for the Wednesday general audience. Despite severe wounds, Pope John Paul II recovered and asked all Catholics to pray for Akka, whom he had sincerely forgiven. Later, the Pope visited him in prison as a sign of his forgiveness, and they became friends. As a result, after the death of the Pope in 2007, Akka became Catholic, and in 2014, he returned to Rome and laid 2 dozen white roses at the Pope's tomb. What a remarkable example of transforming the enemy into a friend through practicing the love principle of Jesus. My dear sisters and brothers, the Lenten season, which begins this week, is the best time for us to come into the presence of God with a reconciled heart and mind. Let us try to eliminate all kinds of hatred around us with more love and with more goodness.